It's celebration time!
Woo woo!
We've been in the Airstream, living a full-time Airstream life for 6 full months now.
The big 06.
Yeah, 6 months. Not quite a year. And we haven't been traveling, as you guys know. But it's still pretty crazy that we've been here an entire 6 months. And we and the girls are very excited.
We've been homeless for 6 months.
Very excited. Wow. So we thought, since we've been here 6 months, we should share our top 10 lessons learned so far living our Airstream life.
Yep. Let's do it.
Let's do it. First, sorry for reading off the phones, but can't remember everything real well. So, first...
Our brains don't work good.
We're still working full-time. Lots of stuff cluttering them. First tip, or first lesson learned on Airstream Living is don't stress too much about where things go or what you should bring. You live in it. You're not going to know until you do. We're still figuring stuff out, and it's been 6 months. And no matter what people say, you can still have the things you love. You can still have your hobbies. You've seen our videos, my knitting, Steve's camera, the candle supply that is ridiculous. We have the things we love, and that's why we love our home so much.
And my number one is I was surprised at how little space I actually needed to get by. I mean, we moved from a 1,600 square foot house to a 200 square foot house on wheels. And the adjustment, it has been somewhat of an adjustment, but I was really surprised, pleasantly surprised, at how easy the transition has been. In fact, I walk into motorhomes, and I think to myself, what the heck I would do with all this space, because we really don't need all that much space to get by from a day-to-day basis. So that was probably my biggest surprise and lessons learned from all this.
My second is if you smell something, say something.
Patty.
More likely Penny. I have a pretty good sense of smell, and
too good.
There were times when, a couple months ago, you may remember the video, I was smelling something weird in the bathroom. It almost smelled like burning plastic, and it would go away, and so we didn't really worry about it. And then it turned out our gas water heater was malfunctioning, and the flame was staying lit even after we turned it off. Not safe. So,
yeah.
And there have been other instances, but pretty much if you smell something, say something. Try to figure out what's going on.
And mine is somewhat related. Number 2 for me is sewage stinks. When you have a black tank in an RV, I mean, some are a little bit easier to deal with than others. Ours was actually relatively easy, but you never really think about sewage when you're living in a house, because you just flush the toilet and away it goes. You never have to deal with it again. But when you're in an RV, you have to empty that stuff. It has to go somewhere. It can't just sit in your black tank forever. So you have to release the hounds, as it were, and just let the sewage flow through your sewer hose, and then hopefully you rinse it out afterwards. But I certainly never thought about sewage before that. Before we moved into this Airstream,
we ever did.
The composting toilet helps with the smell significantly, but
sewage still stinks.
In some ways you're actually closer to the poop with compost, because you have to empty the compost as well. But it's not nearly as nasty and dirty as the black tank. So yeah, sewage really does stink, especially when you're working with it.
Okay, my third. Know the weather. So I was not very good about keeping track of when the hottest day of the week was going to be, when we're going to get storms, any of that before we moved into the Airstream. And this is a tip for multiple reasons. One is safety. Obviously, high winds and possibilities of really strong storms. You're going to want to know flooding. You're going to want to know that. Also, with winds and things, the awning up, leaving it up, taking it down, that's important. But also for meals. Because it's been so hot, the colder days of the week are when you'd rather do things cooking in the inside. The hotter days of the week would be much better to cook outside. So knowing the weather for many reasons is very important. And in general, life is better with the windows open.
That's something boaters know. That's like the first thing they learn.
Yeah.
You always have to know the weather and what's coming.
Yep. Penny, what are you doing? You're making lots of noise.
So number 3 for me is driving her home is actually pretty cool. You know, whenever we go somewhere, and we aren't full-time traveling yet, but that will soon happen. But we have taken excursions to local campgrounds around the area. And having everything with you all the time is really awesome. You never have to pack. We do have to disassemble a few things, like put the awnings in and disconnect the power cord and sewer hose and things like that. But other than that, everything is exactly the same unless something falls on the inside. Everything is exactly how you left it before. And I mean, I knew that was going to be one of the things that we were getting into. We'd never have to pack. Our home was always with us, but you don't necessarily get to appreciate that until it happens. And it's really cool.
Okay. Number 4, kind of related to driving our home. You really need to make sure you like your spot before you unhitch. Normal things, you got to make sure you're level side to side, front to back. You need to make sure that you're close enough to the electric or soar if you have hookups that your lines can reach. And then something else we learned, you need to make sure you're not too close to something else. So we're currently in a spot with a pretty big tree, and
tree's right there.
Yeah, it's over there. You've probably seen it in the background of other videos. And we got into the spot, figured out where we wanted to be, leveled up, made sure we were close to electrics, started unhitching, and then I looked at it and thought, will our awning even come out with this tree here? And the answer was not well.
It came out, but it was
not a good idea.
Yeah.
So we had to hitch back up.
Definitely a problem with that.
And move the Airstream over a bit so we didn't have our awning hit the tree. So
it took us an hour to park this thing last time.
It did. So we're learning, but there are a lot more considerations into what makes a good spot than just, is it level?
That's for
make
sure.
Sure you make sure you like your spot before you unhitch.
Yeah, number 4 for me is I really like having just one bill every month. You don't have a separate electric bill, water bill, cable bill, whatever. When you're at a campground, you pay the monthly or the nightly rate, depending on how long you're staying.
On your credit card.
And
that helps with points.
And that's it. On your credit card as well, yes. Now, there is one exception to that. We are staying monthly here at the KOA, so we do pay for electric separate, but we don't pay a separate utility company. It all goes to the same place. They just bill us once a month. It goes to the credit card. That's it. We're done. Don't really have to think about it. So that's been really nice, having a consolidation of our monthly bills.
I agree. Okay, 5th one for me. Know how to work your thermostat. And the reason for this is obvious, but if you only kind of know how to work your thermostat, the middle of the night is going to be when you need to figure the rest out, and that's not the best time to do it, let us tell you. Side note, make sure your under bed, if you have an Airstream, make sure your under bed compartment is closed before you go to bed at night. Don't leave it open.
It might cool the room off unnecessarily in the wintertime.
FYI.
Thank goodness we haven't done that. Number 5 for me is it's kind of fun saying that you live in a trailer park. The reactions you get from people are generally, really? Yeah. I mean, they have no idea this is a KOA, which is easily nicer than
park.
Yeah. Well,
I say RV resort.
It depends on the person you're talking to.
Yes.
Sometimes it's kind of fun to use the term trailer park. Other times it's an RV park. But even then, RV park, people who don't do this won't necessarily know what that means or what that entails or the amenities you get and things like that. So if you want a conversation starter and you live in an RV, tell people that you live in a trailer park especially, and you'll probably get an opening to start doing some talking.
Yeah. So those are our top 10 lessons learned tips from living in the Airstream full-time for the past 6 months. We're going to give you a bonus one. Number 11.
Ooh, a bonus.
A bonus. I love bonus. Celebration time, right? Whee! Number 11, or 6 for me, is we have learned how much online communities and forums rock. We have learned so much from so many of you guys online, from the
very
Airstream
true.
forums to YouTube, from our comments. And we feel like we've actually made some pretty good friends, even though we've never met some of you. And we really appreciate the fact that you guys are following along and commenting and being part of this journey with us, because it's making it that much more fun.
Yeah, this is. I mean, a lot of this is just a swag. We're shooting from the hip, I guess, flying by the seat of our pants. We don't necessarily do a ton of research, but when we do need research done, forums and even YouTube videos almost always come in handy.
Yeah. And we're hoping that the research we do.
Yeah, you said doo-doo.
Helps you guys, and that's the whole point of us doing this, is to have this online community and sharing of knowledge. And it's making me so happy that we have this core group of followers and subscribers. Thank you very, very much. And to all of those who might be new to the channel, we hope you stick around. We're always looking for ideas for videos and Tuesday Talk questions, anything like that. So
it's nice to know that you're picking up what we're laying down.
Exactly.
That's kind of cool.
So thank you very much. And I guess that's it. We're going to go celebrate. I wish we had cake. We have icing, though.
Oh, yeah, we have icing. That's usually reserved for dogs, but maybe tonight.
Icing? Icing? I don't know what we're going to have icing on.
We have icing fun. I don't know. Sugar.
Yes.
Sugar.
So here's to another 6 months and beyond, and we will see you guys next time.
I promise, after the next 6-month video, the background will be different.
It will. It's coming soon.
Hopefully trees and stuff, outdoorsy stuff. Yeah.
Bye. Patty's done.